Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the video that everybody probably wants to see about Sombra, only you're not going to really see that much of Sombra because Blizzard are being a bit of a dick right now. So, let's get into the Sombra video. I'm not going to make a proper Sombra video because, to be honest, I can't be arsed because of all the events that have been going on, and yeah, so let's get into it. So obviously a lot of people attached to the Overwatch community have been waiting for Sombra to see her, to know what she can get up to, and you know, all of the good stuff. And across the 4th and the 5th of November, that's also, I didn't make a video yesterday on the 5th because it was bonfire night and there was a load of fireworks, so you would have heard a lot of explosions, but happy bonfire night if you were English. But yeah, so across the 4th and the 5th, Blizzard had BlizzCon, where they did indeed show Sombra off. Now, this has both made a lot of people happy and angry at the same time. The happiness stems from the fact that we could see Sombra and we get to know what she looks like and what she can do. The anger comes from the whole PTR situation, that being that the PTR was supposed to be the secret way to unlock her. All of the magic puzzles that you had to spend hours upon hours and weeks upon weeks solving were all pretty much for nothing. You know, a lot of people put a lot of time and hard work and dedication into decoding, hacking and encrypting all of Sombra's clues just to figure out how to get Sombra, which led to a timer that said wait till BlizzCon, and a lot of people were quite annoyed at the fact that it said wait till BlizzCon, but they were like, oh hey, maybe they won't actually release her at BlizzCon. Maybe we'll get like a story mode, and then there's one final clue in the story mode, and if we find the secret button in the story mode, we unlock her in the multiplayer. So you know, it gives you an incentive to actually try and decode the final message in the story mode, or whatever it could have been. You know, that was the best way they could have done it, but obviously they're like, oh no, she's just being released now, here she is, so the PTR was completely fucking pointless. Which did annoy a lot of people because it's just felt like a great big waste of time, considering a lot of people have known that Sombra has been done for a while now. So that didn't go over too well. And then came the more annoying part. That is how they have decided to release Sombra. If you're watching my screen right now, you will notice that I might be showing little clips of Sombra footage, or like little clips and snippets of Sombra, but they're incredibly zoomed in and they've probably got a filter over the top, and they might even have like a whole different image in the middle just so that you can't properly see the image, and the audio has been muted so that you can't see the audio, because Blizzard has decided that only those with a lot of subscribers get to show off Sombra. I will elaborate my personal experience last night, or yeah, the 4th last night, about what actually happened during my stream. So during my stream we were excited for BlizzCon, but we only really cared about the what's new section, the what's new part where they will be showing off Sombra. So I was playing Overwatch with my friends, I was streaming Overwatch with my friends, then the particular what's new in Overwatch section of BlizzCon came out, and I said to everybody, okay, I just really want to watch this, so I'm going to flip over, we're going to have a quick look at Sombra, and you know, it only lasts like 30 minutes, then we'll get back to Overwatch. So I flicked over and I had the chat commenting on the different powers of Sombra. I had myself voicing over the gameplay of Sombra. So it's not like it wasn't against Twitch's regulations. It is gameplay that is being commentated over. So we were doing nothing wrong. And we weren't streaming the entirety of BlizzCon. We were literally just looking at the what's new, which is what everybody wanted to see. Anyway, there was only about 8 of us in the chat. You know, there was the streamers themselves, which were playing Overwatch with me, which is me, Midnight, Fantasy, Alexander, and then we had 4 or 5 viewers like Real and one of the people I know on Twitter, which I think goes by a different name on Twitch, but he's got a pony icon on Twitter. But there was only like 8 people, okay, so you know, we're not a big Twitch site. No one's going to find an 8-person stream, because it's down there in the Z grade. It's not even worth mentioning. Anyway, after about 2 minutes of the Sombra footage, it jumped from 8 to 32, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's a bit weird, but, I guess everybody's wanting to see Sombra, and, playing Overwatch on this day. 32 new people, welcome. Well, it's about 29, really, because we already had, 8 in the chat, but, 29 new more people, welcome. And then we got to the, I can pause it. So, then after they explained what Sombra could do, we got to the footage bit, and at that point, the stream jumped from 32 people to 124. I'm like, oh, well, that's really weird. Remember, we've had Jeff Kaplan sitting on stage explaining, no problem. We've watched the first 10 minutes, no one's come in, no one's said anything, we had 32 people watching it, it's all good. But the second Sombra was actually being shown on screen and they were showing off her powers and what she could do, it jumped from 32 to 124 people. I'm like, oh, okay, that's a bit weird. And obviously with over 100 people, the chat got a little bit more lively, and I had a couple of people saying, oh, thanks for streaming this, we really wanted to see Sombra, we wanted to see what you could do, but just be warned that your channel's going to get blocked for 24 hours. And I was just saying, well, what do you mean? And they're like, oh, well, about 200 or 300 people are streaming Sombra right now, and they're all getting locked out of their accounts for 24 hours because from what I could gather from all of the Twitch commenters, only big people like this person here with over 300,000 subscribers who's got a video that's completely unedited on YouTube was allowed to stream Sombra. And there was one particular person in particular that had been streaming Sombra gameplay live on Twitch with no restrictions from Blizzard for the past 2 hours before the What's New. So all the way through the opening ceremonies and the World of Warcraft championships, he'd been streaming Sombra for the past 2 hours. I'm like, oh, okay, so how come he's allowed to do a full stream and we're not allowed to just have a little debate on the footage? And then again, the Twitch chat was saying because you haven't got an exclusive deal or whatever it was. At which point, as the Sombra footage was coming to its climax and they were talking about Sombra's ultimate, which is the EMP, we got 124 jump up to over 300 people. I think it was 309. I'm like, oh man, over 309. This is pretty crazy. And everybody was like, dude, just end it now because they're onto you. And here's what I don't like about how they've handled the Sombra situation, and this is what the main majority of this video is going to be about now. But when they were like, just stop, they're onto you, I was like, okay, well, I don't want to piss anybody off. I'm not the guy that pisses people off. If they're onto me, I said, right, well, let me just switch over back to Overwatch. We've seen the EMP, we've seen the ultimate. I'm now going to go back to playing Overwatch. Give me 2 seconds to switch on the PS4. And you even hear the beep on the screen. You even hear this sound. I don't know if you heard that on the microphone, but you even hear the little beep sound saying that the PS4 is starting up. And I was commentating and just saying, right, I'm on the PS4. I'm just pressing the PlayStation button to, log into the account. And I'm going to, press stream on the PlayStation so it streams to Twitch. So the BlizzCon What's New on Overwatch will end and the Overwatch footage will begin. And everybody's like, yeah, cool, we'll see that. At which point, that was where the channel got locked for the 24 hours. Now, first and foremost, I would just like to say to Twitch and Blizzard that I think that is slightly scummy. I'm not here to debate whether the footage should or should not have been streamed. It was still gameplay footage with commentary over the top. If there was an exclusive deal that was put in place by that one streamer that got to stream Sombra for 2 hours, fair be it. I'm not going to question that. If there was an exclusive deal, my bad. I didn't know. I'm very sorry. But when you lock someone's channel for 24 hours, you literally have to, it's kind of like doing a copyright strike on YouTube. You physically have to go to that channel and press the button. Now, if there was some sort of Twitch moderator or Twitch admin or whatever you'd like to call them on that channel at that specific time ready to press that button, they would have heard me saying to the chat, oh, they're on to us, which the chat was saying, and they would have physically heard me saying, okay, we will stop, we will put Overwatch on, you can hear me switching the PlayStation 4 on. So, if they could hear that, I don't get why they blocked the thing. And even if they wanted to block it, like, they just did it out the blue. Again, you have to physically go to someone's channel and press the block button. So it's like, you could have just said, you could have just come into the chat and said, hi, I'm Jeff, I'm a Twitch moderator, I'm a Twitch admin, just letting you know that you're not allowed to stream this, and can you change it? That's all you had to say, but they didn't. And now we move into the next part, which is Blizzard being quite a dick about Sombra's release. So obviously we've got the ARG side of things, where there was this big 2-month, 3-month, 4-month huge puzzle. We were given several codes to decode, we were given several schools to decode, we were given several different decoders that you had to go through, like binary and hexadecimal 23 source code. There was a lot of different things we had to decode, and it lands in a timer that says just wait till BlizzCon, she's going to be released then. So all that hard work, all those months upon months that people put into coding that was for nothing, because, you know, it's not like it was working towards an actual unlock. It's not like it was working towards anything special. It worked towards, hey, we're just kind of bullshitting you to wait till BlizzCon. And even then, it wasn't like a story mode where you had to find a secret button to unlock her. It's just like, yeah, everyone's going to get her now. So that was the first kind of annoyance that set people off. But then the second annoyance that set people off was how she's going to be released. So she's going to be released to the public testing room, the PATR, on Tuesday, and then who knows? Like, everybody's saying, let me just bring the calendar up here. So she's going to be released on the public testing room on the 8th. A lot of PC users are saying that they'll get her on the 15th then, because usually anything that's on the testing room comes up 1 week later, but they don't really know. And as for console users, fuck knows. When's she getting released for PS4? When's she getting released for Xbox One? I don't know. And said fuck, I don't know when she's getting fucking released. If clearly you're not a PC master race, fuck you. You got it on PS4, fuck you. So PlayStation and Xbox don't know when Sombra's coming out. So that was the next thing that really chived people's nipples. But then the third thing was obviously the way that they kind of like announced it in this condescending tone to try and like give you a good summary, in the fact that, like, let's take Nintendo. This is the best example I've got, because Nintendo is always very good with this. Like, if they announce something like a new character in Super Smash Brothers, or a new little piece of DLC in Mario Kart 8 or Animal Crossing, like, let's just take I can't think. King Boo, he's not in Mario Kart 8. So let's just say they had a direct tomorrow, and they said, right, we're doing some Mario Kart 8 DLC in this direct. We're going to more talk about Pokemon Sun and Moon, because it's coming out next week, but we just got a little bit of information that King Boo's coming to Mario Kart 8. He's bringing a brand new car with him, and here's the car, and here's King Boo, and here's how he works. And then what Nintendo normally says is, and if you wanna be a ghosty goo like King Boo, then you can get King Boo right after this direct. Like, literally, the very second I stop talking, he's gonna be on the eShop to download. And that's what a lot of people were thinking with Sombra. As in, like, oh, it's BlizzCon. It's like E3. It's the E3 of Blizzard. It's a huge announcement. Sombra is a goddamn huge-ass announcement. And they're just going to have everybody rushing onto their servers to play with Sombra. And so Jeff's going to be like, hey, this is Sombra. And if you want to be a little hacker girl yourself, well, you can. Literally, the very second I stop talking about Sombra in, 5 minutes time, once we've gone through all of her powers, the very second I stop talking about Sombra, Overwatch on PS4, PC and Xbox, all going to be updated. So tonight, you're all going to be playing with Sombra. We haven't put her on the PTR because everybody wants to play as her. And if she is a little bit imbalanced, you know, if the hacking lasts too long or the invisibility is a bit too overpowered, that's fine. We'll fix it as we go. But because this is our big event, this is the biggest event of the year for us, we're going to release her right now without just going through all this PTR bullshit. That's what everybody was expecting. They were expecting them to pull a Nintendo, basically, and just drop her straight away so that everybody could rush onto the console, everybody could try her out, everybody could have a good time and say, yes, this is some good shit. But again, instead they were more with the condescending tone of voice like, well, this is Sombra and this is what she can do. And if you've got one of these exclusive deals, now they didn't say anything about these exclusive deals, like this man that can show her, but I can't because he's more popular and Blizzard's give him permission to show her before she's released on the public testing room. But yeah, they were like, oh well, because it's Blizzard and the kind of AAA, and you know, it's a new character, yeah, but we're still going to put her on the PTR, so you're not going to get her for a while, even though we've hyped her up way too much. And after the PTR, well, you know, I guess it'll come to the console or the normal PC on the 15th, but the consoles, fucking, I don't know. Maybe you should own a PC, shouldn't you? So a lot of people were getting very annoyed about that, and I think it's come down to the point that now I don't actually care. I just want her released. Like, she acts a lot like the spy from Team Fortress 2, like the turning invisible, getting behind people, shooting them in the back, and then being able to, like, you know, take their powers, like steal their powers away, or in this case hack them so they can't use their powers, I guess. But I'd like her. I'd like to play as her. I'd like to show footage of her doing that. But Blizzard is saying no right now. So, Blizzard, what you playing at here? What you playing at? Come on, man. Just release her. Like, if there's something wrong with her, or, well, I mean, it's too late now, because obviously we're past BlizzCon. BlizzCon ended. But if you'd released her on BlizzCon, you would have had so much more hype across that night. You would have had so many people streaming your game across the course of that night. But instead, half the people can't even play now because they were streaming some of the Sombra stuff on the 5th. So some of them are still locked out till midnight tonight. So you had less people streaming it. I get that maybe like that particular part of Sombra was in Hall C and like you needed to buy a ticket. So maybe that's why you stopped it. But you know what hall was supposed to be for the public? Because if Hall C was, you know, if Hall C was for the virtual ticket, the premium ticket, that means 90% of people watching that stream wouldn't even know that you've talked about Sombra. So, yeah, Blizzard, don't be as stupid as Activision. I know you've got control over them, but don't let them influence you, okay? Don't be an idiot like them, because that was a very big whoopsie. Again, I'm not annoyed. I'm not annoyed at them for blocking my stream. They had every right to do it, and I would have appreciated if someone just said, hey, please don't, and I would have changed it straight away, because that's how it works. You just have to say to me. If there's something on your mind, if you feel that something is upsetting you, if you feel like I'm wrong in any way, all you have to do is say, hey, Spyro, I completely disagree with what you're saying for these reasons, or, you know, in Blizzard's case, just like, hey, Spyro, we would really appreciate if you didn't do that, can you please do it? I'll agree. I'll completely agree with you. And I'll be like, yeah, sure, I'll do that, or in the term of I'm wrong in the comment sections, I'll be like, I can see your point, and I will either agree with you and say, yeah, I can see your point, and I was in the wrong to say some of those things, or I can say, yeah, I can see your point, but on a counterpoint, what happens about this? You know, this is a discussion. You don't have to be a dick, Blizzard. So yeah, I'm not allowed to show Sombra until she's released on the PTR, at least. And by the way, if you don't believe me, this is the second time this video is going up. For my astute viewers, because I know there was 7 of you, or there was 7 views on the video before Blizzard come and took it down. Yeah, this is the second time this is going up, and that's why it's now all like zoomed in and got icons over it, because you can't show her off, because shush, only 300,000 subscribers have got the exclusive deals to stream her and show her when she comes out in 2 days on the PTR. So on Tuesday you can show her, like once she's up on the PTR on Tuesday, then you can show her. But for now, only the big YouTubers get to show her off, because that's how fucking YouTube works, and that's how it works, doesn't it, AAA? Like, rather than giving a small channel a chance to grow, and this is me being a little bit jealous, but not really, it's just kind of like my hatred of how AAA works. It's like, rather than giving a small channel a chance to grow, like rather than giving a little 2,000, I've not even got 1,000 yet, but so I'm using someone else, one of my friends that actually has 2,000 subscribers and is a big fan of Overwatch and certainly uploads a lot more Overwatch footage than I do. But you know, the whole idea is to get a small channel of 2,000, 3,000, 10,000 subscribers and give them the deal so that they can grow, they can get more subscribers, they can build themselves up. Because the big people like PewDiePie, Markiplier, and this particular person with 300,000, they don't need it. They've already got their silver play button. They've already got their subscribers locked in. They're safe. They've made it. But all the little people that are trying, they're like, hey, I know what I could do. I could show Sombra off right now, like before she's on the PTR via a stream, and I can get a little bit of traction. You know, it might not be much, it might only be 10 subscribers, but I can get a little bit of traction. But then you're like, no, you don't understand. PewDiePie is the biggest dude. Like, he's got 48 million, and we got to give it to the guys with 48 million and 300,000 rather than the little, you know, 2,000, 3,000 people, because the small channels got to stay small, and the big channels have just got to keep getting bigger, because that's how it works. No, please, Blizzard, don't follow that mindset. Like, I have talked to many indie developers, like the people at Platonic, that are absolutely fantastic, lovely people, and the people at Way Forward that do Shantae, absolutely fantastic, lovely people. And I'm getting a review copy of Half Genie Hero. Now, I mean, they are having a couple of issues, because Nintendo has decided, and this is partly Nintendo's fault, but because the Wii U has had a lot of problems over the past couple of months, and they're now ceasing all production in December, but Ukulele promised a Wii U, or sorry, Shantae Half Genie Hero promised a Wii U release date, because like there's that weird stuff with the Wii U, and then they've announced the Switch, and they're like, oh, can we get Half Genie Hero on the Switch, because we want to get it to both the Wii U people and the people that buy the Switch. They're having a little bit of issues, so I don't know how review copies will work, but they were completely fine by seeing the fact that I've done like 60 reviews or whatever. They were completely fine with giving an 800 subscriber person a review copy. They're like, oh, hey, you know, you're small, but you're still getting like 100 views. That's 100 people that might buy Half Genie Hero. So you know what? Sure, here's a copy of Half Genie Hero. I mean, I haven't got it yet, because again, they're having a little bit of issue with the fact that now Wii U productions have stopped as of December, and they might want to also port it to the Switch. That's why it's been delayed a little bit. But you know, that's still a company that's doing the right thing by saying, it doesn't matter how big or small you are, even if you're a teeny tiny person, if we can trust you, yeah, here's a review copy, get us them sales. Whereas you're like, nah, small people, they're not allowed to stream Sombra. So yeah, I just wanted to make a little event video on that. I've got a joke review of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare coming after this, because let's be fair, that got a lot of shit, and it's kind of like, hey, who would have guessed that Infinite Warfare would have got a lot of shit, with it being the second most disliked video in the entirety of YouTube? I can't imagine why it got all that shit, so it's kind of like not even a real review. But if you want to hear my thoughts on it, you might as well. So yeah, I'll put that up in a bit. But for now, this was Sombra. this is what 4 months of hacking and code solving and all the big crock of nonsense has come down to. A timer that said wait for BlizzCon, and when BlizzCon finally rolled around, if you didn't have an exclusive Blizz deal, then you're not allowed to show it till the PTR. So good shit.